In this lecture, we are going to be talking about how you can deal with an anxiety. We're going to go through a rational emotive behavior therapy guide for you to manage an anxiety properly and overcome it to live a healthier life. There are 4 main ideas to focus on and work on: self-downing, other-downing, distraction systems, and thought blocking. First, self-downing. One of the main ideas and causes of an anxiety is that we look down on ourselves. Whether we believe that we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not good looking enough, we are looking down on ourselves, which, when we are put in a position where we need a certain level of intelligence and we look down on ourselves, believing that we are not intelligent enough to make it, we will start feeling anxious because automatically your brain doesn't like to fail. Failing is linked to pain, and winning or succeeding is linked to satisfaction. And by nature, we as human beings tend to avoid pain and embrace pleasure. So as you look down on yourself and you encounter a problem where you might or will fail, you start feeling anxious because you don't know how you can prevent the failure, how you can prevent the pain, and manifest the pleasure instead. But when you don't look down on yourself, whether you win or you lose, you don't look down on yourself. If you consider winning as winning and losing as a learning opportunity to win in the future, you stop looking down on yourself and you believe that you're good enough, you're smart enough, you're worthy enough. This is you thinking in a rational way. Because no matter how you look or how you solve problems, if you look down on yourself, you are going through a battle with yourself. It is like a snake eating its own tail. It would not lead you anywhere. And also, other downing. We should not allow others to put us down. Leslie Brown says someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. If you wanted to date someone that you fell in love with, and they said no because you're not good enough, you're not good looking, and then you allow those opinions, as we're going to talk about in the emotional intelligence section about opinion-based influence, you let other people influence your belief and your sense of rationality, and you fall under the influence of other downing, turning it into self-downing. But if you start looking at whatever people are saying, don't look at it as a fact, but look at it as an opinion. When you look at it as an opinion, then it is just a mere thought that you can disregard at any point. We often have a hard time opposing to facts, but it's way easier for us to reject opinions. And at the same time, don't look down on other people. Because looking down on other people, even though it's not detrimental for you at that moment, you are falling into comparison. You are looking down on others because you think you are better than them. But once you meet somebody else who's better than you, then you will look down on yourself just by the mere habit of comparison you fell into when you look down on others. And this makes you anxious. When people influence your opinion and you think about yourself a certain way, you encounter situations where you will feel anxious and you will not be able to rationalize your way out of it. And when you look down on others, you also fall into this unhealthy comparison system, which when you encounter somebody who you think is better than you will start looking down on yourself, thinking that you are not worthy enough, you are not good enough, falling into irrationality or false rationality, and falling also into negative thinking, leading of course to an anxiety. Now there are 2 systems you can use to your advantage. First, a distraction system. When you are being dominated by subjective development on your cognitive level, when you feel that you are being overwhelmed with negative emotions, use distraction system. Do something that makes you happy use emotional intelligence exercises for you to be able to overcome this emotional charge that's making you think irrationally, negatively, and unrealistically. And lastly, thought blocking. Block your thought patterns completely. Once you follow the ABCDE model, you'll be able to realize the events, your belief system, and at the end, figure out a new belief system that can help you avoid those bad consequences. And what you are doing is you're blocking the thought patterns that you go through based on your previous belief and conditioning.